to the Alcaidesa Links Resort. This is a newly renovated golf course on an incredible property. As you can see behind me, we're right on the mouth of the Mediterranean and the Atlantic. We've got views of the famous Rock of Gibraltar all the way going across the sea. We've got Morocco, Africa and the Atlas Mountains. So we're going to take a look at some of the feature holes here on the golf course. Let's go and take a look. We're on the 5th hole here at the Alcaidesa Links, and as you can see again, we've got another one of those amazing backdrops. You can see the town of Balinia, Gibraltar, Africa behind, but as a golfer you won't be worrying about those things because this is a real par 5 with scoring opportunity written all over it. Very much downhill, so I think you have to gauge the distance of your tee shot because the run out, as you can see, will be very much affected by the water hazard that really cuts in at around about the 280 mark. So again, playing downhill, that's something as a player you'll have to gauge. And then obviously from there you'll have a sort of a short to mid iron into the green. And the green itself, as we go down and have a look in a minute, offers a really tricky little question to the player. So let's go down and take a look. Really tricky green, and that's all one group. So even though you're most likely to be coming into this green with a fairly short or mid iron, firstly you're going to be coming in from a fairly sort of a sloping lie, probably a downhill lie, and that makes it quite tricky because you can see here this green is nicely protected. We've got a nice blend of some thick, gnarly, rough, very coarse bladed grass. You can see some really uneven lies that you're going to be faced with should you come up short. You've also got a nice escarpment of bunkers designed, I think, as well, as you can see, with some interesting shapes just to kind of capture the ball maybe on a down slope or a side slope. And as you come onto the green itself, you're going to see multitude of slopes and swales and hollows. We've got some runoffs at the front, the side, the back, and as you can see coming up onto the green, you probably see by how I'm walking up some of these tiers and slopes, we're faced with some really big ridges. An aim point guess, I would say somewhere in the region of sort of like a 12% slope in some places here. And you can see where the flag is positioned today. As a particular example, you're faced with a very small landing area to get yourself into the correct complex as to where the flag might be. So a short par 5, but you've got to be very accurate with your second shot. Okay, welcome to the 12th hole here at the Alcaidesa Links. As you can see, this is quite a daunting par 3. Water hazard in front of the green, and obviously being so close to the sea, you're going to be very exposed to some of the winds that can be gusting up. Certainly if you've got that sea breeze, or the Levante as it's called here, which could just slightly turn in towards your ball. Your ball could stall, and that's when you're going to be challenged with the water. But you've also got to factor in as well, we've got about a 20 to 30 meter drop, so obviously the ball is going to be in the air that little bit longer for the dreaded wind to possibly catch it. Another good feature on this 12th hole is, as you can see here, the bunker and the rough combination. So again, with the sea breezes possibly pushing your ball towards the left, you've negotiated the water, you're now left with, again, one of these gnarly lies in the rough, or as you can see, quite a steep bank and a face to this bunker. So it's a really good hole where you've got to flight your golf ball, know your distance, and commit to the shot. The 14th hole here at Alcaidesa Links is quite a short uphill par 4, measuring some 271 meters from the back tee, 215 meters from the ladies. Would almost give you, again, the thoughts of, well, can I go for the green? Can I drive the green? Well, possibly yes, if it's downwind. I think that's number one. I think your biggest question is going to be this. If we pan over here to the left-hand side, you're faced with quite a nasty group of challenges. Plug lies possibly in some of these bunkers, these deep bunkers. You've got some very thick, gnarly rough. And then you'll be faced with a very tricky shot, which is going up to a green which is well above you, so a blind shot. If that's not your cup of tea, then you can opt for the layup, and you've got quite an array of choice here. So you could lay up to your favorite distance, anything down the left-hand side of the fairway. You can go short, mid, or a little bit longer off the tee. But what you do have to guard against is the water hazard down the right. So 14th hole, I think, will create a little bit of disparity with the field. You might see some birdies, but there'll be a few little doubles in there too. Eighteenth home hole, Alcaidesa Links, is a par 5, 459 meters off the back tee here, and this is a hole which is very wind depending, is going to govern your strategy. So today we have the wind off the land that's called the poniente wind, quite a strong breeze, and we're going a little bit uphill as well, so it will be reachable for the longer hitters. If we now switch that up and we get the wind coming off the sea and it's downwind, all of a sudden this hole becomes a little bit more of a birdie fest. Off the tee, we've got some out of bounds down the left hand side, bunkers guarding the right, but overall pretty generous. And what you really need to look out for are the bunkers guarding the front of the green. So let's go and take a closer look. So up here at the green, as you can see, we're flanked by some bunkering. It's a fairly deep bunker on the left, fairly shallow bunker on the right, even though it's a pretty big one. But I would be more concerned again about this signature rough that they have very, very close to the green here. Ball can very much get buried. You've got these very, very thick blades of grass which will challenge any great short game player. Mouth of the green, even though it's on an upslope, is fairly open, and if you can find yourself on the putting surface, there's not too many slopes here, so if you can get yourself on here in 2, you've got a definite birdie chance. So that's a wrap here for our feature holes here at the Alcaidesa Golf Links. So as you've seen out on the course, it's a very tight, not an ultra long, but quite fiddly golf course. You've really got to navigate the wind, you've got to be able to control, I think, the flight of your irons, and certainly stay well clear of that thick, gnarly rough around the edges of the greens. So for tournament coverage, follow us at AAA Golf Series, and as always, make sure you register in advance for our future tournaments via the website. We'll see you soon.